Front Stoop, what's popping? We are here, ladies and gentlemen, to help you get through this afternoon lazy time when you're sitting at your desk and you're ready to go home. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're here for right now. We'll be on for about 45 minutes, just talking hip hop, society, and life, whatever's out there, whatever's going on. Drake, Kanye West, seems like they officially reconciled, ladies and gentlemen. Once you check out this clip, we're going to come back and talk about it.
You have to admit to yourself that this shit is impressive. I cannot believe I'm in a nigga's house. A nigga from this city that did not grow up this way. Tonight, he brought some of the biggest stars on earth to his home. Kanye West is in his home. My God, man, Dave Chappelle is in his home. This is Canada. It's what a black American calls the finish line. Niggas ran from slavery to this place. And tonight, we feel free in my nigga's home. My God, man, look, Drake.
All right, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. I guess it was Kanye West's home. No, it's Drake's home.
Drake's home.
Drake's house. It was Drake's house, and Kanye West is there. Dave Chappelle. So they was having a good old time. You know what I mean? But what do y'all think, man? They reconciled. Apparently, Drake, Kanye West reconciled, squashed the beef. Is Kanye West back? Is he back from the sunken place? Or what?
It seems like it. It seems like it. First of all, it's good to be back on the stoop. What's good, Tone? How you doing?
Peace.
You know, I do think Ye is back from that sunken place. Only because it seemed like he has more clarity of what his priorities are, what his goals are right now, right? And the music is reflective of that. You know, I was watching the interviews, seeing him talk, and his mind seems to be in a healthy, clear place where he knows what he wants and how to pursue.
Yeah, it's just so hard to say with Kanye because he goes in 20 different directions in one time. You just don't know. You know what I'm saying? He could be feeling like that right now for the next couple of weeks. And then all of a sudden, he's off on another cliff doing something crazy. You just never know. You know what I'm saying? You just never know. You just never know. That's how Kanye West is, man.
You took the words right out of my mouth. In response to the question, I was gonna say hopefully, because I can't definitively say he's back. I can't, like you say, you never know with this guy. It could be a day, it could be a week. You know what I mean? Like I think at some point, he's gonna go on a rant again. He's gonna, lose some people. But I think at the same time, that's always been part of his genius. But my question is, if for those of you who saw the clip of him reconciling and apologizing earlier before this event with Jay Prince standing behind him, what was it, genuine, or was it was it an ultimatum?
I mean, or was it simply business?
Or business,
right?
Or
business.
business.
Was it simply business? Because Jay Prince posted on Twitter. He said, "So I met with Kanye West to pass on the message from my brother Larry Hoover, who said he would like to see peace between the two of them. Ye received this well and said thanks, because he never had anyone that sat him down and explained things to him the way I did. However, Jay Prince explained it. I don't know if he explained it with the voice, or with another tool. Who knows? Right? Jay Prince then called Tuesday's gathering at Drake's home a beautiful night. He said, let's make history, December 9th, the Free Larry Hoover concert. Right? Larry Hoover is currently serving a life prison for murder. So that's why I say, it was a business.
It's a great point.
Was it business? They want to get this Free Larry Hoover concert going December the 9th. Was it business? Who knows? I don't know. You just can never tell with Kanye West, man. Kanye West is all over the place sometimes.
I'll tell you what. I would really, really wish I could find a way to make it to that concert, because that thing is going to jump off. And one of the reasons why I think Kanye is definitely doing better and has turned the corner is because he's gotten something he's always wanted. And that's basically access to the upper echelons of society. He got his billions of dollars, right? He's bringing this whole Yeezy brand public, taking it off the ground. He seems like he's making good on a lot of things from his past. We just heard about Beanie Siegel saying he's gonna get stock holdings in Yeezy, and now we're seeing him reconcile with one of his longtime rivals. And not only that, beyond just the Drake reconciliation, he's talking about this whole unity issue. He's talking about how society tries to divide people, and he seems to be in a happier place where he feels like he finally has the powers that he's been chasing after. I think he got out of his deal or whatever, and it seemed like he's shifting gears and looking forward to higher goals that transcend music, and using his power and influence to try to do things like get Larry Hoover out of prison, create more unity between Hove and Dame, so on and so forth.
Let me tell you what, that Hove and Dame, I don't know, bro. I'm not saying it. I'm sorry. I don't know.
It's I mean, Jay kind of reached out already.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you the truth. In my opinion, anything between Hove and Dame is gonna be business. It might look like friendship,
right?
It might look like friendship to us, but it's gonna be business. That's the way that's the way I see it. I think it's gonna be business. But
I think Dame is at a point where he kind of don't really care about it no more. Like I don't know how much involvement he has. Like he just tried to sell his holdings of Reasonable Doubt,
right?
Or
right.
Or is it The Rock?
No, it's Reasonable
entirely.
Doubt.
Reasonable Doubt, right?
He tried.
It was the NFT though.
Yeah, I mean, and they've recently had riff about that.
Right.
And that's what Dane responded. He basically was saying, I'm I'm glad Jay shouted me out or whatever the case. And hopefully we could get rid of the lawyers and just settle this, between us. So I mean, I agree with that aspect of business, but on a larger scale, it doesn't really even have to be business, because I'm of the mindset of belief that a lot of people throughout the industry are scared to even work with Dame. So Dame has been kind of I'm not gonna say blackballed intentionally, but it somebody may be scared to work with him just because that may stop their relationship with Jay.
Right.
So with Jay, necessarily, I think Jay could basically help him and then stay away. You know what I mean? Like basically give the green light in one way or form or the other, just to get away from people being scared to work with Dame.
Right. Yeah. I
That would
mean,
be interesting.
it's going to be interesting, you know what I mean, to see how that whole thing plays out because, you know, they ended on some bad blood type of, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure, for
They ended
sure.
on some bad blood. We'll see how that works out. Going back to Drake and Kanye West, well, I'll go back to Drake. This man, Drake, Apple, Live Nation, Travis Scott, our Astroworld is facing $750 million in lawsuit.
Whew.
According to TMZ, Apple, Live Nation, and others will now need to answer to a massive, I'm sorry, Travis Scott, Drake, Apple, Live Nation will now need to answer to a massive $750 million lawsuit. It's definitely not $750,
Yeah.
right? $750 million lawsuit brought against them by the more than 125 fans, including the family of one who died at the festival. The suit, filed by Houston attorney Tony Busby, is the first of others to come and places the blame on Travis and concert organizers for negligence and failing to properly plan the concert, train security personnel, and host a safe event. Among the plaintiffs is the family of Axel Acosta, a 21-year-old who was allegedly crushed by an incited, unruly, and out of control crowd with such force that he could no longer breathe. As for the staggering $750 million lawsuit, the claims will cover both physical and mental health injuries, as well as the loss of life. Busby says, the attorney, no amount of money will ever make these plaintiffs whole. No amount of money can restore human life. But the damages sought in this case attempts to fix, help, or make up for the harms and losses suffered by these plaintiffs. Nothing more and nothing less. Travis and Live Nation offered refunds almost immediately to concert goers, and the lawsuit addresses that offer, calling it a transparent and grotesque effort of the defendants to limit their liability after the fact to the families of those killed or injured.
I, I,
As TMZ reported, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. 10 people have now lost their lives as a result of the Astroworld Festival. The most recent was a 9-year-old boy.
Mm.
A 9-year-old boy. Law enforcement continues to investigate what caused the deaths, but those in the audience say a crowd crushed, trapped, trampled, and suffocated fans. Sources close to Travis have maintained he didn't realize the severity of what was happening in the crowd while he performed. Photos of the cops taking photos and watching Travis show more than 25 minutes after the chief declared the concert was a mass casualty event, seemed to back up Scott's claims. The one thing I'll say about that, when you're on stage performing, you know,
Yeah.
and you see, you know, thousands of people out there, it's hard to say and see what's happening and what's going on.
Right.
I doubt that he's going to sit there and, you know that people are getting hurt and dying and you're going to continue to perform. It's hard to see exactly what's happening out there, you know, at that time.
A
You
lot
know,
of people. I've been trying to get that point across to a lot of people. Like when you're on stage, visibility in the crowd is
yeah,
next to nothing if it's a massive crowd like that.
right. And they smoking, you know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
and it's not just, 10 people smoking, it's thousands of people smoking. So, there's going to be a cloud of smoke
Yeah,
as
it's
well.
gonna be
Be smoky,
hazy out
dusty,
there.
be hazy.
You know, and a Travis Scott crowd, the type of music, it's a festival. There's a lot of other drugs in the mix, right? And I'll say this: as an artist of that magnitude, that has the effect on people that Travis has, you could easily go from having a good crowd to a hostile crowd if you don't control the crowd properly.
Right.
So,
as the entertainer,
oh yeah, oh yeah.
you saying the entertainer control the crowd properly? Because
If
I don't know if that's even
I don't
possible.
think I don't think I think basically what I'm trying to say is the control that you have over the crowd is so limited
Okay.
that they could turn on you like that at a moment's notice,
Mm-hmm.
and if you do something to trigger them in a negative way, there's nowhere near enough personnel there to protect you if
Mm-hmm.
that becomes a rushing angry mob. You
Yeah,
feel me?
I agree, and even I don't think he should be the artist should ever be liable in that situation. I shouldn't say ever, because they did say incited the crowd. Unless they're saying that he incited the crowd, which again I think would be hard to prove. Anyway,
Right.
you know what I mean. Um, the artist shouldn't be liable in this situation. The venue maybe, or more so, you know what I mean. The promoters maybe, and more so, but the artist is really just there doing his job. Um, a lot of artists are taught if they see something going on in the crowd to keep performing, to
Exactly.
keep other people in the crowd from maybe noticing, and it becoming bigger than it is,
Right.
to let the, the security, and the people put there to take care of it.
Hmm.
um and then in his defense, he also, there's video of him stopping the show when he did, however
Yep.
late it was, but when he noticed somebody being hurt, and him directing people to that area. So I don't think the artists themselves should be held liable, um in this situation. one
Exactly.
one last thing, there's also been reports of the cause being people who didn't pay for tickets, who actually broke through the gate, like a mob basically, who broke through and entered the concert. So again, that has nothing to do with the performer. That's about security, the venue,
I think
the
it all depends
organizers.
on. I think it all depends on how the business relationship was set up,
Right.
right? Because there's been plenty of times when I've rented out a location to do like an open mic,
Mm, mm-hmm,
and the location said, "Okay, I'm renting it out to you, but you're in charge of the security,
mm,
you're in charge of the ticket sales, you're in
mm.
charge of everything."
And it is his festival, so
Right.
I mean, like,
You know,
it's named his
right,
name.
right. So it's like if my deal with the
Venue.
venue is that I provide the security, so now
Mm,
that means it's my responsibility, Travis Scott's responsibility and his company to make sure that they're trained properly, to make sure that everything is concerning the tickets is taken care of properly, all of that. The venue is just there. Now, let's
mm,
say, for example, uh, the stage collapses.
Right.
That might be on the venue because the stage wasn't properly taken care of,
Exactly.
or something like that. But I remember a long time ago, uh, when I was little, and this isn't the same thing, but just the discussion about whose responsibility it is. I went to a circus, right? And they had these wooden benches, stands for people to sit on to watch the circus. And I was sitting, me, my mother, my brother, we were sitting on one of the stands, and we got up and went to another stand because there was mad people on that stand. And as soon as we got up, the entire thing collapsed.
mm,
The
Damn.
entire thing, it just swap, just collapsed, and people lying on the ground, bleeding, screaming, hollering, crying, all kinds of wild stuff. And that became the fault of the venue because they didn't take care of the stands.
mm-hmm,
Hmm.
Right now, the circus, they're trusting that the venue had all their stuff taken care of. They still gave people their money back. The circus did,
mm-hmm.
right? But it became the fault of the venue because they didn't take care of the equipment. Uh, but let's say the ticket sales and all that kind of stuff, if something went wrong with the tickets,
Mm-hmm.
It would have been on a circus.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
I think it all depends on the relationship of the business deal.
Yeah,
that's a great point.
yeah. It strikes me as an
I was looking
operational
at it
story.
like the circus, the stadium collapses at the circus, and people are suing the clown that was performing. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like
Right,
this dude's like,
right.
I was just juggling. Like,
I think the
Yeah,
biggest tragedy is that there was children there. I No one ever assumes that things are gonna get out of control and violent and dangerous, but at the same time, in that sort of environment, I would not bring a child. I think that's a tragedy in and of itself, and I think that as soon as you saw people breaching the perimeter and security losing control of the flow of attendees coming into the crowd, there should have been like a delay of starting, and just like some kind of a halt to get the crowd back under control, because at that point you could have people coming in with weapons of all kinds. They're not going through the normal checkpoint, and they're not able to be certain that it's going to be a safe event for everybody. And on
uh,
top of that, last but not least, I think people in crowds at, in festivals, like from a cultural standpoint, need to just do more looking out for one another. If you're trying to get forward and there's no room, just stay where you're at, man, and don't crush people. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. There was rumors or stories of people being injected, like even an officer being injected
Yeah.
with a syringe of some sort.
yeah.
So
You
See,
I
see?
that's
mean,
wild.
it's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah, that's wild business. Big shout out to Supreme System Lord. He said, "Was that Universal Soul Circus?" Nah, man, that wasn't Universal Soul Circus. I don't know. I don't know. I was young, so I don't know who it was, but it wasn't. I doubt that it was Universal Soul Circus at the time. But yeah, thank God we was okay. Thank God we got up and left off that stand before it collapsed.
Yeah,
That's a
for
fact.
real.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a
For
Yeah,
fact.
real.
yeah. Thank God we did. And it's crazy, things like that can be crazy. But who knows?
Absolutely.
Who knows? What the business situation is like. According to the lawsuit, there's several things that they're going to be suing for. Obviously, I think no matter what happened or who's to blame, Travis Scott, Drake, they are going to be mentioned in the lawsuit, and it's going to be on their attorneys to
Mm-hmm.
prove
Mm-hmm.
that it's not their fault.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you always go after the biggest fish.
Right, exactly. So they're gonna have to prove that,
I,
the lawsuit is Tony Busby and the plaintiffs are suing them for negligence and failing to properly plan the concert, train security personnel, and host a safe event. So all of this is going to come down to who was responsible
for the
for planning, training the security, and hosting the event.
Yep.
That's
yeah.
what it's going to come down to.
Yeah.
I'll
I
tell you
agree.
one thing. This is gonna affect everybody as far as like entertainers and artists and all that,
Yeah,
because and fans as well, because ticket prices they're gonna jump now. You know what
yeah,
I mean? Because the insurance is gonna skyrocket. Um,
Yes.
uh, you know, I mean, I would hope, but I would have never thought that his concert had $1 billion insurance policy. You know what I mean? Like, I'm pretty sure.
yeah.
You think it would have a
Yeah, I mean,
bill a
I don't,
billion?
you know,
I mean, it generates billions. That's a fact.
Yeah.
yeah. Let's put
Um,
it like this: coaching AAU, I've got to have a
million.
$1 million insurance policy.
Yeah. I mean, granted, I'm looking at businesses and things of smaller scale, but the most common I've seen is 1 million. $1 million policy. Now, I would think his joint would be more than $1 million policy, but I would never have
Oh
just thought
yeah.
it'd be $1 billion. You know what I mean? Like on just off the insurance, like. But hopefully it was. You know what I mean? And the majority, if he loses, is covered. But yeah, I think it's gonna make things go up. Insurance policies, ticket prices, um, all that.
And
Yeah.
just as a segue, I think one festival that might have $1 billion or more insurance policy insurance policy would be something like Rolling Loud, for example. A
Hmm.
traveling, multi-city, multi-date, large-scale festival with multiple headlining artists.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Astroworld is like a 2 days in Houston, right? And it's Travis Scott's festival, and there's a little carnival and all of that. As far as I know, but something like Rolling Loud would be probably more along the lines of $1 billion or multi-billion-dollar insurance liability protection.
I ain't mean to laugh. I'm just laughing at Supreme System Lord. He said, "Stabby, don't say the fire festival." Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, man. Yeah, I wish I would have got a chance to speak to Ja Rule when we was
The celebrity game.
at the celebrity game, man. You know what I mean? We didn't get a chance to talk to him. I always want to ask him about that fire festival. He probably would have told me to get out his face. You know what I mean? I always want to ask about that fire festival, man. If you watch Hulu, it's on Hulu, I think.
Hmm.
You can still
There's
check it
one
out
on
on Hulu.
Netflix too. There's
It's
one
on
on
Netflix
Netflix.
too.
It's two different ones. Yeah.
Yeah, two different ones. Yeah, it is.
I
That
haven't seen the
was
Netflix
crazy,
one,
bro.
but the Hulu one was hilarious.
Yeah,
It was hilarious.
that joint was crazy. It was real crazy. Um, yo, what do y'all think about this? Fat Joe and Remy Ma, they're gonna take over the Wendy Williams show just for a day. Just for a day.
That
Like
sounds hilarious.
I
November
can
20, actually 2 days. 2 days.
I can definitely see this being opportunity for. Actually, I can see it being an opportunity for both of them.
Yeah.
The way Joe's Instagram channel has been popping off, and I think Remy was going that direction as far as maybe falling back from hip hop and trying to get into TV and talk show. I think she was falling in that direction anyway.
Mhm.
Um, the more I think about it, the more I like it because I think if they stay together as a pairing,
Right.
that might
That would go off.
that'd be historic.
Yeah, that'd be crazy. That'd be something. The Fat Joe show on Instagram, he gets some
GoPro.
guests on there. He gets some guests on there. And of course he's got sponsors and stuff. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he would take it to prime time television because it might take away some of the authenticity of the show.
Yeah, he wouldn't move that, but now you could do both.
But you can do
You,
both.
you,
Right.
you know
You
what I
can do
mean?
both. Yeah. So Wendy Williams, she tested positive for COVID. So while
Mhm.
she's away dealing with her health issues, you have different celebrities that's filling in as guest hosts. So Fat Joe and Remy Ma, they're going to be on November 23rd and November the 24th.
Nice.
Mm,
Yeah,
mm.
yeah,
That sounds like it's gonna be really funny, really energetic. I'm curious to see what they line up in terms of topics and guests. And basically anytime Remy Ma's on TV, it's must see TV. I feel like I feel like she just brings that energy to whatever she's doing.
yeah.
That's I tell you this, 10 years or more ago, this would have been so frowned upon.
Yeah.
And the further back you go, the more frowned upon
Yeah.
it would have been.
Right,
You know, it,
right.
sell out, or yeah, all types. And now it's his champion, and deservingly so. I
Yeah,
love it.
yeah, definitely. I mean, Fat Joe does a good job. You know what I'm saying? He does a good job, and like Robert Parr is saying, Fat Joe and Remy Ma are hilarious together, genuine chemistry. So
Hmm.
it'd be dope if it spun off into, the Fat Joe and Remy Ma show, or whatever you want to call it, or the Remy Ma and Fat Joe show.
I
You
would
know,
watch that.
And look, they already got the TS. Now it's Terror Squad talk show.
you know what I'm saying?
TS.
There you go. There you
Right,
go.
right.
Oh man,
They
Yeah,
that
got the
sounds dope.
they got the logo and everything. Fat Joe,
yeah.
I'm
I want to check.
I'm gonna have to bootleg me some cable just for the occasion.
Yeah, that's dope. I'm
Right.
sure it'll be on YouTube in a
Yeah,
couple hours after airing.
yeah,
Yeah.
no doubt.
Maybe Simmer drop some clips.
And they're doing it 2 days before Thanksgiving. So I mean, and that's going to be super prime time too, right?
Hmm.
Because a lot of people's going to be off from work,
Hmm.
out of school, and all that kind of stuff. So that's definitely prime time for the
And
boat.
and I mean, she has the audience already, so it's not even like people are gonna not, and it's only gonna be a bigger audience because Wendy Williams has an audience already. You know what I mean? They're
Right.
locked in. They're watching whether she's there or not. Whoever's the host. So
Right.
now it's just gonna be extra people who are interested in Fat Joe, interested in Remy Ma, familiar with the pairing, or them as individuals. So it's
Right.
only going to be more exposure for them,
Right.
and you might be able to bring some people along if you decide to make it a thing.
Yeah. And the pairing of guests is going to be. You gotta make sure that they put some good guests out there. You know what I mean? To make it work. You can't put people out there that they're not familiar with, or not gonna have questions for. Listen, it's national television or whatever. They're gonna make sure it's done right. You
Man,
know.
And
that
Remy,
should be dope.
in the most respectful way possible, Remy, like, she's not that far away from Wendy. Like, it's not going to be a big stretch. Like, oh, we're used to Wendy, then Remy don't fit. You know what I mean? I'm saying for her audience, like, you know what I mean. I think they're going to appreciate Remy a lot, and enjoy her time up there.
Yeah.
It's gonna
Yeah.
be
I'm
nice.
I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to see some clips from it. I wonder who the first guest would be. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I guess we'll find out. We'll find out soon enough.
And it'll probably open more guests because it may be some people who wouldn't have been open to sitting down with Wendy that might be a little bit more okay with sitting down with Joe and Rem,
Yeah. Yeah.
or whomever the host is.
Yeah. Yeah. That's dope. That's dope. Any idea you guys hear about the new verses? Who's on the new verses?
Mm-mm.
Hmm.
Um, hold
No.
up. I forgot who it is. Let me pull it up real
I,
quick.
I know they've been looking for a matchup for Buster Rhymes for a long time.
I mean, you already know. Well, I don't know if Savvy, but Tony already knows who my matchup is.
Oh yeah? Oh yeah?
My matchup is LL. That's what I want. I talked about it on Monday,
Hmm.
and I'm talking about it again.
Mm-hmm.
LL. That's my matchup. That's who I want.
That would be interesting.
That's who I want. I want LL. The
LL
next
Cool
versus
J.
battle is tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay.
Shaka Khan versus Stephanie Mills.
Oof.
Hmm.
Yep. Shaka Khan versus Stephanie Mills. It'll be on at 8
Wow.
p.m. Eastern time on Triller. I think it's going to be from live in it's in LA.
I wish I was home with my mom tomorrow. Like,
Yeah, it's at the theater at Ace Hotel.
How did you like that last one? That KRS BDK.
That joint was dope, bro.
we
It
we
was dope.
loved it. We were there.
Y'all were in the building. That's right.
It was in the building. It was super dope.
Oh man, that was ill. I was watching here at home, and man,
It was super dope. So there's two versus battles coming up within the next week.
Hmm.
Not
Oh,
not
okay.
not within the next 3 weeks. I'm sorry, not
Okay.
within the next week. So we got Shaka Khan and Stephanie Mills.
Mhm.
That's in Los Angeles, and then December 2nd in Los Angeles is Bone Thugs and Harmony and 3-6 Mafia.
Oh.
Bone Thugs
Oh
and
Boom,
man.
boom,
Harmony
boom,
and
boom,
3-6.
boom, 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 boom.
I wonder where that's going to be at.
It's in Los Angeles.
It's in LA. Oh man. 3-6 gonna have a long night against Bone Thugs. Bone Thugs in LA. A lot of people on the West Coast really love Bone Thugs. But let me tell you something. Out here in Florida, we just had 3 Points Festival. That was probably last month. And let me tell you something. I wasn't there myself, unfortunately, but I heard 3-6 Mafia shut that joint down and that they could still perform live. And they got a cult fan base that's gonna love to see them show out.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see that one.
I mean, they both got cult fan bases, though.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So
Right.
at this point,
Absolutely, yeah.
I think it's gonna boil down to the bigger records, and if I'm going with Bone as of right now without doing no research and anything else. Like,
I ain't gonna lie. I got 3-6. It might be the Florida in me,
It
but
is. It
but
is.
I,
It
I
is.
I don't know what they're gonna play when sipping on some scissor,
mhm.
sipping on some sip.
I mean, is that their biggest record?
Well, you got that one. You got I gotta stay fly. You know what I'm saying? And then you got Juicy J's whole catalog of solo work. I think of I think Juicy J has the best solo career of any artist out both of those groups.
Okay, I'll give you that.
You feel
I'll
me?
give you that. But I don't think, like, when you talk because what I try to do is just find unbeatable songs,
Mm-hmm.
and I think Bone has
Bone and Biggie.
at
Yeah.
least three. You know what I mean? At
Yeah.
least you know what I mean. Maybe five. They got the Pac record too.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what
That's
I mean? They
true.
they got the Crossroads, which I don't think, again, I don't think anything that is played is gonna beat Crossroads. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
and I may just be talking impact, because the impact of that record, like, that's all time impact
Yeah. I mean, that's
record.
right.
You,
Right.
you
That's a
know what I mean?
monster record. That's a monster
so
record. As far as
so
sales, crossover appeal, all of that. It's a monster record.
so that's what I look at first when I go with when I look at verses, like, who has the most records that guaranteed win, guaranteed point. Like, it don't matter what they play on the other side. So when I do it like that,
Mm-hmm.
Bone probably has more guaranteed points, but it's thin. It may be like five max. So after that, you know what I mean. Now you're going just record for record. They could probably, it's probably closer than I think. You know what I mean. But
It's
I think
just
I'm still going Bone.
the matchup is good, but because they both got cult fan bases, but it's rough because I think Bone Thugs kind of started their run a little bit earlier than 3-6 did, right? But when you got Stay Fly sipping on some scissor, popping my collar ever since I can remember, okay, and then you got Tear the Club Up. You got slob on my knob, like corn on the cob. Like every kid that went to grade school from 90 whatever year that came out to the mid 2000s knows that song word from word.
Let me ask you this though,
They got a longer run too,
right?
probably.
Let me ask you this:
Mm-hmm.
do their fan bases cross over each other? Because I think that's essential for verses. right? Because if the fan bases don't cross over, like how do you know the impact of that song?
Exactly.
Like overlap.
Yeah,
And that's why I wanted to know where it's going to happen. I think LA might favor Bone Thugs,
right. Because of Easy E,
right?
you know what I mean?
Okay.
They
And
might
so
favor
I
Bone
give
Thugs.
them I give Bone Thugs the edge in that regard, and also they got some unbeatable tracks. And I know people, I have met people in real life who only listen to Bone Thugs. That's all they listen
Mm.
to is Bone Thugs, Bone Thugs, Bone Thugs.
and,
Right?
and Savvy, I think it's fair to say that New York's fan base is gonna favor Bone
Bone,
Thugs.
probably.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
True. It's all gonna depend on the average age of the crowd in there.
Right? Because 3-6 probably not
more
probably,
recent.
they've had more recent hits.
They've
Hmm.
had more recent hits.
You know what I mean?
Project Pat, Project Pat is still doing stuff. He was just on
Right.
Knife Talk on the Drake album. Okay, Juicy J dropped the album this year. Bands that make a dance still goes off. You know what I mean? He has a song with Mac Miller people liked a lot,
Hmm.
and
That's why I say record wise, 3-6. Because they have more records, more current records,
right,
more and good records. You know what I mean? I'm not just
yes,
saying it's volume. It's, you know what I
right.
mean. It's
Yeah.
They got
quality in there too.
smash hits.
But
But
but as far as like just the unbeatable records, I think Bone has at
let, let,
least
let me
5.
jump in here real quick and
Right.
just kind of switch some things up. JP, big shout out to JP. Says
Oh
reports are saying that
man,
Oh
Young
shoot!
Dolph killed in Memphis shortly ago. And
what?
Jeremy Pierre from Fox 13 said on the scene of a shooting on Airways, I'm hearing Memphis rapper Young Dolph may be a victim in the shooting. Um,
Yo,
shooting happened at Makeda's Cookies. So this is something that's breaking right now.
fam,
Yeah.
didn't this guy
R.I.P.
just retire and like be like, yeah, like I'm gonna move on from it all, fam. If prayers for Young Dolph, I hope he survives whatever the situation is and pulls through.
They
Damn,
saying killed.
Yeah, it looks like this ain't killed.
that's horrible news, man. And he survived a few attempts on his life too.
I was just gonna say he
Yeah,
been going through this. I mean, since I've heard of him.
Street's been coming at him for a hot minute, and there's no secret. And I know a bunch of people who's gonna be very hurt by this news, man. Man, I uh, hopefully they're saying that prematurely. I don't like the idea. Well, of course not, but I don't. I hope Dolph is not gone, bro. It's been such a rough year, you know,
I mean,
for a lot of rap artists, especially. And it seemed like we can't go a year without losing
we can't. We can't go a year without losing.
big figures in hip hop, man.
You know, we can't go a year without losing somebody. Big figures, small figures, somebody. Local artists, regional artists, national artists. Yeah, it's crazy, man.
I was at a
Mhm.
show.
That's for
I
sure.
want to say on the 8th, like so like 10 days ago or so. It was an Isaiah Rashad show, and it was packed in that building. They were gearing up to bring out the headliner, and in between that, um they had some more openers going, and I was talking with this girl in the crowd, and somehow we got on the. I think the DJ played XXX Tentacion, and I was just like just vibing and being like, dang, like I remember when this kid blew up, it really set Florida on fire, and it brought a lot of attention to South Florida hip hop and everything. And I can't think of a shorter run at the top of rap
So
music.
independent, you saying like
Oh,
when your shit go to radio, you spend your money on radio.
my bad.
All good, all good.
I was just looking up some stuff.
For sure, yeah. And if you got something, I'd be glad to hear it. But I was just commenting with this girl in the crowd about, man, like talk about a supernova. This kid rose up. I wasn't like a fan at first. A couple of the songs won me over. He had a lot of personal troubles and a dark aura that surrounded him, but it seemed like he got extreme commercial success and had one of the shortest runs at the top that I've seen probably ever. And I was just talking about that recently, thinking about that recently, and now it looks like we lost Dolph. R.I.P. I know a lot of people is gonna be really hurt by by this news if they don't know already, man. That's unfortunate, fam.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, that's a fact.
It's crazy.
R.I.P. for sure.
Oh,
Condolences to friends and
crazy.
family, fans as well.
Yeah, rest in peace, man. I mean, I wasn't obviously I knew who he was. I wasn't, I don't even want to say I wasn't a big fan. I hadn't really delved into his music, so I wasn't a big fan or not a big fan. I just, I've heard it,
Right.
cool, but for a young man to lose his life, was he's 31 years old, something like that.
Something,
35?
yeah.
I think maybe 35,
Yeah, he wasn't.
something like that.
It wasn't couldn't be older than 35. You
Right.
feel me? And he has fans like they show out for Dolph, and it happened where in Memphis. Man, that's unfortunate.
Yeah,
That's
definitely
unfortunate.
unfortunate, man. Rest in peace to young Dolph. Condolences to his family, friends, fans. Unfortunate. Another year, man. Another year, another death of a hip hop artist. Crazy.
Man, that's tragic.
It is.
That's tragic. Hip hop needs help. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
no doubt about it.
The streets need help.
Yeah. Well, look, man. I'm gonna head off. We're gonna head off, ladies and gentlemen. Hate to head off on that note, but I gotta get up out of here. Um, Again, rest in peace to young Dolph, his family, friends, fans. We send our condolences out. And ladies and gentlemen, please be safe out there. Take care of yourself. Take care of your family. Out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Be peaceful.